All right, folks, we are back with Steve Baker. He's doing his man on the street impression, standing on the streets of a small coastal town in Carolina. No further information given, no further information required. We're talking about January 6th, the narrative victory that was made by the political left. And more importantly, I want to dig into when this man makes a proclamation or says, this is my analysis and this is why. Let's get into some of the credentials of how much time you've spent and some of the things that you've been able to see that I would say almost everybody in America has no visibility to. First of all, the video you captured, most people have seen, or a lot of people have seen your videos, and they didn't know you took them. What was that video that kind of got you on the map for all $1,500 or so that you earned on it? Can you tell people what that was?
Yeah, the most significant video that I captured that day was the actual extraction of Ashley Babbitt's body out of the south exit of the Capitol. After she was shot in that speaker's lobby hallway with a little small staircase, we've all seen that video. The most important video of the day probably was the one captured by John Sullivan, otherwise known as Jaden X, where he actually saw the gun and then saw, Ashley being hit, falling out of the window to the floor. And so after that scene and that chaotic event took place, they, some of the, I don't want to call them a SWAT team because that's not what they were. I think they were more CERT officers. They carried her down the steps to the lower level of the Capitol and towards the south exit. Nobody's ever seen that video, but we're going to show that soon. I've seen it on Capitol CCTV, and we're going to show them bringing her down to that area. And then from that point forward, she was turned over to FBI medics who were frantically trying to save her life. And I walked up on that event. I did not have my camera on at the moment. I did not. In fact, I'm kind of glad I did. But I was the only civilian there. I was the only person. So this was not a crisis actor thing. There were no cameras there to capture this for the conspiracy theorists to hang their hats on. This was a real event in real time that I saw. And in fact, it was so aggressively, it was a shocking event to see that the Capitol police officer that was escorting me out of the building at the time, I looked over at her and I said, "Is he shot?" And she said, "Yes, he is." Because all I could see was jeans and boots and a bloody chest with hands doing compressions. I couldn't see the bare breasts. I didn't know it was a woman. I couldn't see her head or her hair at the time. And so I said, "Is he shot?" She said, "Yes, he is." I said, "Who shot him?" She said, "We did." I said, "Why did you shoot him?" She said, "He pulled a gun on us." Well, she didn't know. She wasn't there. Sure. The chaos on the Capitol Police radio at the time was intense. Nobody.
That's all. That's all normal fog of war.
Yeah. And so, as we were leaving out of the south entrance, the local fire department EMS unit was coming in with the gurney, and so obviously what comes in must come out. So I went and posted up outside that door, turned my camera on, and waited. And 60 seconds later, they're hauling Ashley out, and they've turned it over to the EMTs. They're furiously working on her. Followed her down the ramp, and then as I'm following her down the ramp, you can hear me on my own video go, "Holy shit, woman!" Because at that point now, I could see her bare breasts, I could see her face, her blank eyes. She was gone. She was already gone. Her head was turned over my direction. I captured a close up of that, which will be in my mind for the rest of my life. But I knew that she was gone. I've seen death before. I immediately, my colleague that I went to the Capitol with, immediately texted him and said, "Shots fired, lady's been hit, she's not going to make it." And I have that text recorded. So that's the primary video that was used in HBO documentary, New York Times documentary, and so many others, as well as several other of my video clips have been used by news agencies around the world.
Now that's led you to getting access. You worked with a number of different groups, but you were able to get access to the so-called, 40,000 hours or so of footage. Yep. You've spent time in the control room, at the panels, at the consoles of the U.S. Capitol Police. And when I talked to you before you went in there, you said, "I know exactly where I'm going. I know exactly what timestamps I want to look at." You've been slowly exposing this, and the Blaze has been kind of publishing it. I think you got a lot more to go. Give people an idea of how much time you've sat at those consoles and how much of this video you've reviewed.
Yeah, I'm not going to say this authoritatively because I don't know, and I'm sure the committee that's in charge of all that video would tell me anyway. But the point being is that I'd say 99% sure that I've had more access to those consoles than any independent or news media journalist has had. My first access has been when I was independent, And I've had several other opportunities to go into the viewing room there at the Capitol with my Blaze team now that they're going in with me. And I'm able to show them and have a couple of other of our analysts on the various consoles working. And so I'm almost acting as a producer and director now saying, okay, look here, look here, look here. And then I'll be back in there again next week, as a matter of fact.
Today's show is also brought to you by Balance of Nature. I don't know why I like the way that sounds in my head, but it makes me want to sing it, kind of like a balance of nature. And Balance of Nature is one of the products you can choose to solve the age-old problem, I don't want to eat my vegetables. My kids are in that world right now. You serve them asparagus, they're saying no thanks. You serve them broccoli, they don't want that either. You try to give them broccolini, they're like, what is this? Is this broccoli with a burnt effect? No! You can try Balance of Nature. You can struggle to eat fruits and vegetables, or you can take one daily supplement and solve the problem outright with enough fruits, vegetables, and fiber for your daily needs. Balance of Nature. Guys, there's a proprietary blend there. They take the produce, they powder it after an advanced vacuum-sealed cold process. It stabilizes the maximum nutritional content, and that means you're just taking it down in a pill. You don't have to taste it? Maybe I should be getting this for my kids. A proprietary blend of fiber and spices, up to 12 spices and fiber to make sure that you have overall health and also digestive health, which is kind of the reasons why we have to have greens anyway. So you could be like Dinesh, you could be like Debbie, you could start your health journey in 2024 by calling 800-246-8751. Again, that's 246-8751, 800-246-8751. You'll get 35% off if you mention promo code America for the discount. That's going to be your first time order, preferred order, customer discount code of 35% off. They're almost giving it away right there. Try Balance of Nature. Again, we're going to do that phone number because I like it. It's 246-8751, or go to Balance of Nature, all spelled out, all those words, balanceofnature.com online, and use promo code America.